Hello.
Hello.
Here we are. Maybe we need little one of those hummingbird waves.
Hummingbird
Here we
wing.
are with Preacher Leela. It's Sunday afternoon, and we have the Book of Wisdom, the Ishupanishad,
That's right.
and we're moving nicely through it. And so we're at whatever second pada they call it like that. It's just loaded with wisdom. Who's with us here? Tusharain, hello. Hoi, hoi.
Hi.
Hoi. Do you know hoi, Leela? Hoi.
It must be sort of like hi.
Oh, hoi, hoi. That's right. Hoi, hoi. Matri's in the office helping us out with Dutch translation. Hoi, hoi is hi, hi. So, hoi, hoi.
That was a good guess. Hoi hoi.
Hoi, hoi. So, okay. And there's Roseanne. Hi, Ro.
Hi,
Oops. And
Roseanne.
there's John Leonard. I clicked Roseanne, but
Hi,
all of a sudden,
John.
right in the middle, midstream, John popped up underneath it. And so there's a hello from Roseanne. There is a big hello. All righty. So you want to take it away there, preacher?
The second pada. Aneja Reka Manaso Javito Lena Deva Apunam Purvam Arsat Ad Davato Yan Ayati Tishtat Tashmin Apa Matanisha Dad Bati. It's a little hard. It's kind of small for me. But we'll get through. But the important thing is what it means.
Yeah.
The self is one and unmoving, swifter than the mind.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, the senses cannot overtake it as it darts before them. No matter how much I do this, the self is swifter. Remaining motionless, it passes the running one, even in a marathon. Through it, the wind carries the clouds. Tad ejati tam naijati tad dure tad vantike tad antarasya sarvasya tad sarvasyasya bahyata. It moves and moves not. Far away, it is near. Within all, it is yet outside.
Oh, look there. We have a Jean Frank. Hi, Jean. And we have an Orban. Hi, Orban.
Yes, you Sarvani Bhutanyatman.
Now, Leela, do you want the Christmas decorations with this today?
Oh, sure.
Do you want snow?
Oh, yeah, snow would be great.
All righty.
Since I'm up here in the mountains and it's raining.
There you go. Now you have snow and mountains. Hi, Nilesh.
Hello, Nilesh.
All righty, so there you go, preacher.
But he who sees all beings in the self and the self in all beings ceases hatred. Ceases hatred. We need more of that.
Boy, isn't that the truth?
I think I'm going to go ahead and skip the Sanskrit because I just don't have the glasses for it. It's too hard to read.
Yeah, it's okay with me.
In the italics.
I think you do pretty good with it anyway, but I think the English is fine for us.
When one realizes that all beings have become the self, what further delusion and sorrow can there be for him who sees that oneness? I want to see that oneness right now.
It's right there in front of you.
Pervading all, it is radiant and formless, flawless and indivisible, pure and unpierced by evil, all-seeing and all-knowing, transcendent and self-existent. It oversees the karma of all jivas forever. Well, that's a lot there. I hope Swami Rama has a good explanation here. Let's see.
Well, there's a lot there.
We need to hear a little more on this. We need to.
Isn't that fun, though? The more you hang out with this stuff, just looking at the verse, it just becomes just filled and rich with meaning, and you see it.
Yes.
And then it's nice to see the further descriptions.
Yes, in detail.
And Matri just said yes, too, I think. Now she's nodding at me from low, sitting in the office doing editing.
She's been working hard?
She's been working very hard. I've been trying to do my best job to be a good tea servant.
Oh, and you're doing wonderful.
And I'm doing a good job, apparently.
Awesome.
I'm trying, but she's working very, very hard. In some relative sense sort of thing, my part is easy. We sit there, we do the recording, and then she sits back and has to spend hours doing the prepping work and putting the editing in and putting the titles in and the lead-in thing and
stuff.
rendering them and uploading them and all like that. How many have we done, roughly? Yeah.
50?
We've recorded somewhere around 50.
Wow.
And you've uploaded what, about 30 something? 25 of them are uploaded.
Wow.
Into the course site. Not published, of course, so it's there, but this is really the time-consuming work. You know, we get the outline made. I do most of that work. And then we sit together and do the recording, and then she polishes it up. And so there's a lot of work that goes into doing that part of the thing. And she's doing fabulous with it. And we have now a Roseanne. And Roseanne says, all my love, Ma. Love you. I'm not sure which Ma she's talking about. Ma Leela Preacher or Ma Tree or both.
I think it's Ma Tree. For doing all that.
Probably Ma Tree, but once we say which one, she's probably going to come back and say, well, both of you, of course. Because Ma Tree thinks of Leela as Ma, as her own mother. And
I'm so proud of her. She does such a wonderful job with these videos.
Yes.
You can
Me too?
The quality and time.
But what about me? Me too? Am I doing okay too?
Oh, you're doing awesome.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Figured out how to transmit all of that wonderful enthusiasm from yoga and non-dual philosophy and practice into these videos.
Yoga.
Very well.
Yeah, there it is. Roseanne says, yep, Matri and Ma Leela. There we go. All righty, here we go, preacher. Take it away.
The second pada, or part of the Ishopanishad, consists of the above 5 mantras, numbered 4 through 8. These mantras characterize Brahman and show the identical nature of soul, or the self, in all beings and God. The mantras characterize Brahman rather than give a full description, for a full description would be possible only by the attributes of Brahman, and these are beyond description. How then is knowledge of Brahman possible? This question, always in the heart of seekers, is answered very beautiful by the Upanishadic learning. Brahma Vidya, or knowledge of Brahman, comes when man is exalted to a perfectly pure being beyond the merely animal and ordinary human categories. To reach the furthest evolved and most highly exalted state of humanity is to realize Brahman. Thus, knowledge of Brahman is a practical realization, a result of practicing the principles of life, the qualities of character, and the means of sadhana given in the Upanishads. It's not just reading it.
No, it's
We
what
got to
we do
play it out in
inside.
our own lives. Brahman is not a separate identity, but the indivisible supreme one. Not a separate individuality, but the infinite totality. According to Upanishadic learning, Brahman should be understood to be immobile and changeless, always the same. On thinking this over, it becomes clear that only a changeless and immobile soul can be omnipresent. How can the moving and changing be infinite and all-pervading? That something moves and changes means that it is confined to a locality and finite. Thus, the omnipresent Brahman is immobile and changeless. Concerning Brahman, this second pada of the Ishopanishad emphasizes several teachings. Number one, Brahman, though immobile and changeless, is described as faster than the mind and superseding others who are running because it is pre-existent everywhere. Or in other words, omnipresent and all-pervading. It's already there. It's already there. It's already here. Here and now.
Right here.
Number two, the Brahman cannot be known by the senses because the senses are limited and can acquire a knowledge of the limited alone, not the infinite. Not of the infinite, not at all. Number three, Brahman is the soul of all. The whole world is living on its life-giving force. Number four, that Brahman gives mobility to all, but is never caught in motion. Whatever objects in the world are in motion derive their mobility from the power and brilliance of Brahman. Brahman, the center on which everything else moves, is itself not in motion. Through Brahman's will acting in the causal sphere, both the subtle and gross, both energy and the grosser form of energy called matter, are moved. Number five, Brahman is the nearest and the farthest. He is inside as well as outside all around us. He is in every object and in every place. Very interesting. There's an object sitting next to me. Brahman is even in that and has this lovely sign that says, "Keep calm and love others."
Wait a minute. Let me show that here. There we go. Hold that up. Hold it up just a little bit more so we can see the whole thing.
Can you see it?
You hold it up just a little bit more so we can see the love others a little bit better. There. That's better. Thank you. Keep calm and love others. That kind of says it all, doesn't it?
Well, I was sitting next to it. I looked over there and I said, that has to do with my key word for the purpose and goal of life. And here I am.
And here you are.
And here it says that Brahman is in every object, reminding me of itself. Ain't that cool?
That is.
Wise men see him inside themselves. For them, he is very near. Others, due to ignorance, regard him to be far away. Number six, the seeker who sees Brahman in all things and all objects, creatures, and the universe in Brahman is freed from attachment, hatred, and jealousy.
Free! Hollered out a free from the...
I heard that.
There it is. She did it again.
Free.
And that's because I hear those dance in my mind.
Yeah, Roseanne says, keep calm and love others. Very beautiful, Ma Leela.
It's kind of like this next sentence. He is filled with universal love, or the love of God. Such a man treats everybody as the temple of God and loves all with no aversion for anyone. Here then is the fountainhead of universal brotherhood. The seekers of Brahmavidya should adopt sadhana to inculcate these teachings and practice awareness of the self. One who sees his own self everywhere and the real self of others in his own heart gets rid of the conflicts of pleasure and pain, joy and sorrow, and proceeds in his life with faith and experience. How can such a man have any sorrow or attachment? When water is all around, why should a thirsty man wander in search of a well? How glorious is such a being, satisfied in self.
Do you hear that echo, Leela?
I do.
It just went away, though.
Because I stopped talking?
I don't know, but whatever it was, it seems to stop.
Huh. It seems to come and go. It's odd.
Yeah.
We'll try some more.
Yeah.
Those who seek divine knowledge need a practical system to follow, and one is suggested in the 8th mantra of this second part of the Isha Upanishad. The practical teachings of the 8th mantra, full and very beautiful as they are, include the following. Number 1. In order to tread the path of divine knowledge, the sadhaka should night and day imbibe the truth that Brahman exists everywhere. This feeling should find expression in thought, word, and deed. It should dominate his mind and heart. Number 2, acquire the faith that Brahman is one, not many, and that all the activities of life are meant for him. Acquiring purity of heart, intellect, and of body, let whatever one does be the worship of the one Brahman. Number 3, Brahman is almighty, and a share of his power is hidden in the sadhaka himself. This hidden power should be aroused and discreetly used for good purposes. It is awakened by tapas, or determined endurance of hardships and the trials of life, while remaining firm in our path of directing sincere efforts to self-realization. Let's go back to that. I want to say that one again, Swamiji. That's important. This hidden power should be aroused and discreetly used for good purposes. Don't hide it. We use it, but we discreetly use it. And it is awakened by tapas, which is explained here as determined endurance of the hardships and trials of life. That's just normal life.
Yeah.
That's just what happens in normal life. We endure it then, while remaining firm in our path, directing sincere efforts to self-realization. No matter what, we don't stop our sadhana.
Yeah.
And life goes on with all its ups and downs and storms and rainbows.
Spoken from the voice of experience.
That's true. In order to be perfectly unaffected like Brahman, the sadhaka should give up the habit of identifying his self with the body and assimilate into practical living the idea that to find or realize God is the all-important aim of life. I'm still working on that habit. Thus, to be purged of all evil is the first decisive victory of the sadhaka. Victory! The seeker of Brahman should be thoughtful and love wisdom and learning, which means, too, he will admire and seek virtue. The habits of disliking others and destructive criticism hinder sadhana and should be eliminated. Number 6, as this Brahman-created universe is subordinate to Brahman, so man's creation, the world of his affections and selfish attachments, should be subordinated to the divine part of man, his true self. Man must be the master of his worldly relationships, not their victim. A man who masters his selfish attachments and treats worldly relationships as means to higher ends is liberated from all miseries. That sounds like free to me.
Near.
Liberated! But to be lost in worldly relationships and false attachments, considering them to be the ultimate aim of life, is nothing short of death. To cultivate in ourselves the divine qualities like those of Brahman, we should root them in our antakarana with faith and confidence, and never act or think contrary to them. That antakarana, that whole thing, all of it. Then the mind will acquire these qualities. This is accomplished by japa, which is a mental repetition of certain phrases and syllables called mantras. The mind of the sadhaka is molded according to the idea of the mantra he mentally repeats. The sadhaka, building a temple of thought in his heart, should repeat the mantra, paying more attention to its meaning and essential feeling than to mere words. This repetition of meaning and feeling causes the uncontrolled tendencies of the mind to vanish, just as light banishes darkness. Japa also produces sound and rhythm, which assumes a shape of its own. When the ideas and qualities of the mantra automatically occupy his heart, the inner being of the sadhaka assumes a shape in accordance with the mantra. The inner being of this shape is called the ethereal body of some sadhakas. It is through such an ethereal body that the yogis teach and inspire the sadhakas living in distant countries, and also remove the impediments in the way of their sadhana. Japa is very intimately related with mind and breathing. The sadhaka should therefore practice japa diligently to make his body, mind, and breathing worthy of sadhana. The seeker of the supreme goal must train himself to give up indolence and meditate at the appointed time every day. He should practice every day. It didn't say every other day.
Huh?
It didn't say every other day, did it?
Maybe once a week will do?
It didn't say that either.
Oh my, you're hard.
It says right here every day.
Wow.
Well, we brush our teeth every day, hopefully.
Speak for yourself.
Joe is here. Joe came in. We're in trouble now, preacher.
Well, we put on clean clothes every day.
Nope. We probably eat every day.
Yeah. And meditation is kind of like eating. Can't live without it.
Like
you get
breathing.
malnourished.
It's like breathing.
And who would want to be spiritually malnourished?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we're playing with this, but this is all good stuff here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's true. And I was at the seeker. He should practice pranayama or prescribe breathing exercises, at least emptying his lungs and filling them with fresh air 2 or 3 times a day. Well, shouldn't we do that with every breath? Empty the lungs and fill it with fresh air?
Yeah.
He should keep the body healthy and purify sense activity. Breathing, meditation, and worship concentrate and purify the mind. Japa, with mantras pregnant with the qualities of Brahman as revealed to the sages, molds us accordingly and brings us the various states described in the Upanishads. One can achieve a state of complete perfection without sorrow and attachment by following these practices and turning the mind inward to the real self. The seeker should concentrate his mind through meditation, divesting it of passion and desire. Then one can go beyond the waking state, in which the mind flows outwards and works through the organs of sense perception. One must first control this outgoing tendency of the mind by turning it inwards. When the mind flows inwards, it may weave a world of its own without the aid of gross sense organs, but this too must be controlled, for it is only a dream state. One may then enter a state which resembles dreamless sleep. Yet, one must go beyond, even further. The yogi, proceeding through higher processes in meditation, may one day reach Turiya, or the fourth state, beyond the state like dreamless sleep. This is the state of mind where there is no finite mind at all. The finite mind is totally eradicated by immersion and merging into the ultimate reality, the self-luminous, pure consciousness, being, and bliss that is Brahman. The mind alone divides the sadhaka from this, which is God. Turning the mind away from the objects of pleasure and toward the soul, one attains the state described in the seventh mantra, in that state of perfect abidance in Brahman, when to the yogi, fully immersed and equipoised in the self, the whole universe appears as God. What is sorrow and physical attachment can there be for one who views everything with equality?
There you go. That's
What
the
would that be like, huh? Viewing everything with equality.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll bet that any one of us could catch ourselves in a moment without sorrow and attachment.
Probably so.
And then we would have a good glimpse of that.
Probably so.
It's a nice word, equipoise. We don't hear it often.
Equipoise. No, that's very true. So that's the end of that chapter. Preacher Leela, I'm thinking let's go ahead and pause here. It's a nice, complete thing. It was very nice, very touching, very inspiring, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
And you're traveling. I know. I'm glad you were able to find a way to be online today.
Well, I'm sure glad that Bill's sister has wireless internet in her house, and it works fairly good. This is a satellite, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Working pretty well. For those who don't know, Leela is off traveling right now, being with somebody, a family situation where somebody is in extremely poor health situation. And so it's one of those special moments to be with people.
Yeah, it has been too.
And this stuff we did today is a nice companion for that, isn't it?
Totally. Very, very nice companion to that.
Totally. So thank you, Leela.
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you all for visiting. We'll do it again.
Leela ji.
Leela ji, yeah. Good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. We'll be together again next week with Preacher Leela. And
I got this lovely crick out here today.
Yes. Okie dokie all. Thank you for playing. Matri says dooey dooey.
Dooey dooey.
Anybody else have a closing comment? Holding you in heart.
Thank you, Roseanne.
Roseanne. Yes, that's very sweet. Many of us are holding you in heart, of course. Yes, yes. The times they get tough at times out here in the world. But yet there's that eternal something that's underneath it all that's kind of okay, even in the middle of the craziness. And there's Raj, Mr. Bonavara here is with a very long resounding Om. Thank you, Sister, for hanging out. Dewey. I'll leave the Om there sort of as the last word, if I may. Okay?
I was thinking that was a good idea.
That was a good idea. Okie dokie. Bye-bye, all. Have a wonderful, wonderful next meditation. And what are we looking for? Of course, is to be found in the, you can't see it because I put it there. It's in the silence after the Om. Over here, off of the Santa Claus red thing. It's over here in the silence after the Om. Okay?
Okay, Swamiji. Okay.
Okay, bye-bye, all. I'm going to push the button, Roseanne. Roseanne didn't say it, but I know she's sitting there telling me, push the button, push the button. And there's the Om, and push the button.
Thank you, Nilesh.
And I pushed the first button. Now I have to push the second button, and then we go.
Don't do it, Swamiji. Don't push the button.
Don't push the button, but I have to. I'll get in trouble with Roseanne if I don't push the button.
Oh, okay.
And if I keep waiting, then she'll recruit Ma Tree, and before you know it, I'll be getting beat up on by pillows.
Okay, well, you better push the button then.
I'm going to push the button.